What's up guys, it's Demon Fighter. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Play Arts Kai Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, Sephiroth. Now I bought this figure actually back in May. I bought this from a local anime shop that had this figure in stock. So I went and bought it. And for those of you who know about Play Arts Kai figures, or if you collect them, you know that they aren't cheap. They are a bit pricey. But I'm going to put Sephiroth aside for now so we can have a look at the packaging. I mean, I guess I like to think of this video as kind of like a throwback Thursday figure review, because this figure actually came out last year, I believe. And I only just bought it, back in May of this year. But anyway, in front of the packaging, you can see Sephiroth right here. You can see Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, Play Arts Kai, action figure. You got number 8 Sephiroth, and then right there you got the Final Fantasy 30th anniversary sticker. In the back you got pictures of the figure in different poses and with different backgrounds, which is pretty cool. Especially this one, that iconic fire scene from Nibelheim. Then you open this, you get a clear plastic window. You can see the figure inside with his accessories, but I have them all out so I can show you after. And then you got this nice, cool, like cloud or foggy effect here with some white feathers. I think that's pretty neat. And then here you got a picture of Sephiroth right here with his wing. And then here you got a little bio information about Final Fantasy VII Advent Children, and of course the character Sephiroth himself. So let me zoom in on that. You have a look at that. So if you want to read it, go ahead and pause it. And if you want to read this section here, let me try fit that all on the screen. There we go. If you want to read all that, you can go ahead and pause that right now if you want to. So I really like the packaging for the Play Arts Kai figures. It's pretty nice. It's pretty cool, especially if you're a collector that likes to keep their figures in the box. So, like, this is a cool feature to have, like, to show the figure inside in this clear plastic window with this cool effect on it. So that's pretty cool. Put that aside, and now let's get to Sephiroth himself. Alright, let me zoom in. Alright, there we go. Alright, so here is Sephiroth out of the packaging. And after playing around with this figure, getting in different poses since I got it in May, this is a really awesome figure. I really do like this figure a lot. There's really not much I can complain about it, but sure, there may be a couple minor nitpicks, but we'll go through them as we go along. We'll get to them as we go through this figure. So let me bring it to the camera here. Focus. Alright, so here, I really like the head sculpt for this guy. Especially the face. They did a really nice job on his face. Move his hair out of the way. Very nice. Very nice. I like the shading on his eyes. The way they shaded his lips. It looks like Sephiroth. I like it. And the hair is nicely done. It's nice and gray, and it's it's a bit translucent, like at the very ends of his hair. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, you kind of see through it at the very ends of it. And what's cool about his hair is that they actually got in like different layers, like here and then right here. So that's pretty cool. They got his hair. They gave his hair like layers. It's pretty neat. And then you can see his shoulder pads here. You can see he got a bunch of marks on it from like all the battles he's been through. It's pretty neat. And then you got his coat. Man, his entire outfit just looks awesome. And you also see his coat is soft plastic, so it's not going to get too much in the way of posing this guy. So that's good. You got his pants there. Very nice sculpted details. I mean, like all the wrinkles and stuff on his pants and his coat. And even back here. Like, look at the back too. Very nicely done, Square Enix. And of course you got the knee pad there. You got all these different buckles painted in silver. All looks very nice. Of course his boots look nicely done. You get some sculpted detail underneath, so that's pretty good. So this guy has some pretty good sculpt and paint work. Alright, let me zoom out a bit. Alright, so now let's get to the articulation. So Sephiroth, you can look up just a little bit. I mean, not a whole lot. It is kind of limited due to the collar of his jacket there. But you can look down a lot actually, so that's pretty good. Actually, wait, sorry. Why am I getting to the articulation? I totally forgot about his accessories. So the accessories he comes with, of course, the open palm hands he has on right now. He comes with 2 fist hands right here. He comes with a gripping hand for his sword. And he comes with another open hand, but, you know, it's wider. I think this is for like a pose when he, you know, sprouts out his one wing. And speaking of his wing, here it is. And this is a pretty interesting pretty interesting design for his wing. I mean, see, he's got like 3 different joints right there. So you gotta bend it like that, though. I wouldn't do that. That just looks ugly. So I kind of just keep it like this, or like this maybe, when you have it pegged to his back. And of course, you can kind of rotate like each part of his wing like that. So that's pretty neat. And the way you peg it in, you gotta take off this back piece right here. So, right, there we go. And then you just peg it into his back like so. So there, you kind of peg it in like that, and there you go. Now he has his wing. Now, you can make him a bit top heavy depending on how you have it posed. Well, depend on how you have him and the wing posed. But overall, he stands pretty well on his own, even with his wing. Look at that. That looks pretty cool. Probably one of my favorite things about this figure is his wing. I just love that. That just looks awesome. Okay. And let me just peg this back in there. Like so. There we go. And of course, last but not least, we have his Masamune sword. His ridiculously long katana-looking sword. I mean, seriously, I asked this a lot about this sword and of course Cloud's Buster sword. How does anybody wield these? How can they even use them in battle? I mean, it's ridiculous how long this thing is. I mean, let me compare it to Sephiroth. It's taller than him. That's pretty crazy, but anyway, they did a pretty good job with it. Hang on. Trying to get it to focus. Shoot, I cannot. Okay, so yeah, they did a really good job, especially with the handle here. There we go. You got some gold paint here and here. You got some, I don't know what kind of color you call this. It looks like a dark blue or grayish kind of paint. I don't know, it looks pretty nice though. And the blade is nicely done. You see the sharp edge here is silver. This one, and then this edge here is like a darker, kind of like a darker gray. Very nicely done, all in all. Alright, now we can get to the articulation. Sorry, so as I was saying, you can't really look up that well because the collar of his coat. Then he can't look down that much. You get you get rotation. And you also get some pivot too. That's very nice. Shoulders can reach out about that much. Very good. And these shoulder pads here, they are a separate piece, so they're not going to get too much in the way of the articulation. You can extend out, rotate that much. Rotate back. He's got a bit of a butterfly joint inside the shoulder joint, so that's nice. You got bicep rotation right there. You got a cut right there. You got a single joint elbow that bends more than 90 degrees, so that's good. You get rotation at the wrist, and you also have a hinge. He's got a diaphragm joint inside his coat. You can see that right there. Can lean forward just about that much. Can lean back. Not a whole lot. Okay, there you go. I got it. He also has waist articulation as well. Wait. Can't really get a lot of pivot out of him. Oh well. Don't want to mess around with it too much. Otherwise, I might end up breaking something. Anyways. His hips can extend out about that much, so that's pretty good. Can kick forward that much, kick back that much. Got a thigh cut right there. Rotate the thigh. Got double jointed knees. Bends pretty well. That's pretty good. Doesn't have any boot rotation or anything, but that's okay. Ankles can move up, they can move down. You can rotate them, and he does have the ankle pivot. So this figure does have some pretty good articulation. You can get this guy into some pretty good dynamic poses, especially if you have a cloud figure to go with this guy. But before we end this video, let's do height measurements and then size comparisons. And to measure the height of Sephiroth here, it looks like he stands from the top of his hair. It looks like just under 11 inches tall. And here's Sephiroth next to the PlayArts Kai Final Fantasy Remake Cloud Strife. And you can see Sephiroth does stand taller than Cloud, which I think it's accurate. Cloud is shorter than Sephiroth, isn't he? Well, either way, these two fit in the scale pretty well together. And here's Sephiroth next to the NECA Toys God of War 3 Kratos and the Bring Arts Kingdom Hearts 3 Sora. And as you can see, Sephiroth towers both of these guys. Especially the Sora figure. If you want a Sora figure to fit in the scale with your Final Fantasy figures from PlayArts Kai, then I don't recommend getting a Bring Arts. Get the taller PlayArts Kai figures of Sora. They will fit in the scale perfectly with with these figures. And finally, to compare him next to a couple other figures from different toy lines, we have the SH Figuarts Akuma and the Figma Tracer. So overall, I really, really love this figure a lot. This is a really good Sephiroth figure to have, especially that there aren't a lot out there these days. I'm sure there are older PlayArts Sephiroth figures out there, but they're pretty hard to come by, and I'm pretty sure they're not cheap either. So if you're looking for a Sephiroth figure for your collection, and if you got money to spend, definitely get this guy. You will not be disappointed by it at all. Just look at this. His wing, got his sword here. The articulation is not bad. Minus a couple nitpicks like the upper torso right here. It's kind of limited in some way. And then you can't really get him to look up at all, really. But that's alright. They're more just minor nitpicks than complaints. I really love this figure a lot. So get it if you love Final Fantasy or Final Fantasy VII in general. And if you like Sephiroth, get this figure. Especially if you got the money to spend. This figure costed me like $170. That's how much this figure costed me. But I am so happy to have it. And if you enjoyed this review, leave a like. Feel free to subscribe. Click that notification bell button so you know when I upload. Stay tuned for pictures at the end of this video. Until then, have a nice day, everybody.